Hi guys. I hope that you're just excited. I can't even get it out. I hope that you guys are excited to see me as I am to be seen. Like, look how fucking crazy I'm acting. Shit is like, I'm like fucking knocking shit over and stuff. Hi guys. I'm so excited to be back and talking to you guys. Okay. So a lot of stuff's been happening, but who cares? Everything's fine. All Docked Up will be back soon. Check out 420 in Vegas with Vegas Zay and Ray Sun and me, of course. Check all that stuff out. I said it in the intro. So please support the return of your girl. Yeah, man. Okay, so I'm about to tell y'all something really funny, right? So I literally just recorded this whole episode, but my goofy ass didn't even have this microphone plugged up. So stupid. And maybe it's like coming back jitters, and I'm like, oh, like what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, bitch, you know how to do this shit. Like, what are you doing? So, fun facts. I probably said a whole bunch of other stuff at the beginning of this episode the first time, but you'll never hear it. So it's just this. It came out. It came out first episode. You feel me? Like it wasn't all the way. It wasn't giving. It wasn't giving. So I shall not give it to you. But I'm so happy to be back, you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. 146 with your girl. Oh, and I'm so Adela, so like really feels real because now I'm officially like a co-host on 2 shows. So like, damn, this really might have to be my baby. I'm gonna have you niggas on here. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's get started. Giving you guys a little bit of different flavor today. Definitely on my phone, just because this seems easier for me now. So instead of trying to like be focused on like making sure everything's recording right, and then also like trying to like toggle to like read news stories. So this feels more comfortable to me. So get into it. Okay. So I thought that it would be like super perfect, right, for me to come back into recording with you guys with an Omarion story, right? I'm not gonna bore y'all and talk about how Omarion should have won, but didn't because he didn't come. He just didn't come prepared or correct. You feel me? Like that's basically what happened. It didn't happen for your boy. Whatever, right? Okay, so Omarion announces. Did you see that? Anyway. All right, you know, you guys know I'm high. Okay, so Omarion announced a 5-part docu-series called Omega, The Gift and the Curse. Like, he's saying he's Omega. He's right, and how he's a gift and a curse. Okay, cool. So here's my one burning question to you guys, though, right? Why the fuck is it 5 parts? Like, are we doing individual fucking episodes on each B2K member, and then one is just the Millennium Tour? Like, what? How can there possibly be 5 parts to this? Unless they're like 30 minutes long, which makes sense, right? Like that makes sense, right? You can okay, sure. I don't know. But 5 parts, Omarion says. The trailer is very dramatic. You see a lot of like Millennium Tour, like the first time, right? Like a lot of that footage. Everybody seems to be doing okay. Then all of a sudden it's like, ooh, Raspy's not in the tour no more. Like blah blah blah. And then I think J Boog was crying about something. It's still a lot of stuff, and I don't know if like this is unauthorized or I don't know what's happening. But am I gonna watch it? Probably. Probably, maybe, or maybe I'll just like wait for niggas to like put the fucking clips on Twitter, like I watch most things nowadays. But yeah, so Oh, and then of course he has to talk about, there was like him and Pleasure P were like getting into like a little argument in the hallway. And then there was like, April was in the crowd, but maybe she was there for Drew. I mean, excuse me. You guys don't know them on a personal basis like I do. Maybe she was there for Fizz. Maybe she was there for Omarion. Like, the world may never know. But we will know, because we have to know after 5 parts, right? Like, by the end of 5 parts, we have to be able to, like, be able to put it together, right? Like, okay. Okay, so. Jesus Christ. Like, Omarion. I feel like one whole episode is just him, like, eating watermelon and humping stages and stuff. Like, because I'm just not understanding, like, how we're going to get 5 episodes out of this, bro. But go off, my nigga. And he fine. Like, at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, Omarion's still fine. So, case closed. I don't even know what case was open, but it's closed now. Okay, let's move on to a nigga that is not fine. Trick Daddy. Guys, I was so worried about my segues, but it's working out. Everything's going accordingly. This is great. Okay. Alrighty, so Trick Daddy recently went on the Breakfast Club to basically say that, like, it is very imperative, right, that he gets along with his wife's, the niggas in her life, right? And you're like, wife? Well, because sometimes sometimes niggas just still be married to people that we absolutely don't fuck with no more, but we just haven't gotten around. But don't fucking judge me. It's whatever. It'll get done. But I'm saying you can't really judge people for those situations. Sometimes that shit happens. But this nigga, he's basically saying that he's not getting divorced to his wife until his girlfriend wants to marry him. Like, you're holding her hostage, but for what? Because and I'm guessing because he said something like he always thought he'd be one and done or something. Like, well, nigga, the one didn't work, and now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to leave the door open for number 2s and shit, right? But on one side, I was like, okay, well, I remember not shame, maybe the embarrassment, maybe that I initially felt when I didn't want to be in my marriage anymore. And I was like, well, maybe he's embarrassed, like, if he gets a divorce, like, that's an embarrassment for him. Like, and because I can relate to those feelings at some point in my life, but this isn't what this is. I don't know what this, and maybe I'm fucking minimalizing what it could be because he's a man. Like, maybe I'm doing that, and I apologize truly if I am, but he be saying some crazy stuff anyway. But so what did he call them? He called them boyfriend-in-laws. Like, basically he's saying, like, they have to get along because they have to coexist. I don't know if they have kids. I don't really know how much they're coexisting, but he's basically like saying, we need to get along. You need to make sure you're treating my wife right. And so that's what he's, but like, why boyfriend-in-laws though? Like, why boyfriend-in-laws? Like, what? Like, what the fuck? Okay. So I don't know, but I don't know, guys. Now that the more that I'm like thinking about it, maybe Trick is like really, maybe divorce is a sign of embarrassment for him. Again, I can understand. That is not why I'm not getting divorced. That's not why I haven't gotten divorced yet. I'm not fucking caring no more, obviously, because I have a whole ass fucking boyfriend. But I'm just saying, maybe. I'm so sorry I keep kicking the camera, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. It's because I'm high and I'm just like so. I'm not nervous, but I'm so anxious just because it's been so long and I like miss this, but like I also feel like so out of place. So I hope that like I'm giving you guys like the same energy that I normally try to give y'all. I promise I'm trying. I just gotta get back into it. You feel me? Okay, boom, and we ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Speaking of rappers, right? We all know that Gunna was one of the rappers that got caught in that big ass Rico case. When did that shit happen? I don't know, earlier this year. With fucking Young Thug and some other niggas that I don't know or remember. And so a nurse recently went, I guess, to go visit him. I don't really know the extent of the situation because they're kind of being weird with the details. But basically, the prosecutors are claiming that a nurse was trying to smuggle a bag that had marijuana and cocaine into jail that was for Gunna. So I don't. So of course, Gunna's people are saying, "Well, we didn't tell that bitch to come," and maybe they didn't tell that bitch to come. Maybe another nigga sent that bitch, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because I don't know. But anyway, either way, they were like kind of feeling kind of something was weird with her, so she ends up just dropping the fucking. She ends up just dropping the fucking bag and taking the fuck off. But I'm like, I don't really know how well like taking off is gonna do, because like don't you gotta like sign in or like something, like don't they like got cameras and what the fuck you look like, but don't you have to like sign in, like don't you have to be like on the list or something, like I don't know, maybe I watch too much TV and I don't really know how jail really works. I wasn't there long enough for niggas to come visit me and smuggle shit in for me. Yo, why did niggas used to smuggle those fucking files into the fucking cakes and shit? Like, they never looked like they were going to be strong enough. And I guess on some old movies, like, they got out and shit, but like, reality is given that that's not real. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's gonna get in trouble. But you know what? I was looking at the picture and it was like a lot of drugs. Like, it was a lot. Like, I'm trying to figure out if he's trying to be a drug dealer on the inside. Like, it just seemed like a lot. Maybe, I don't really know. Because I don't really know, like, what's the gentleman amount of cocaine to carry around. This is like a lot of coke to me. And it definitely looks like maybe an ounce of weed, which is kind of a lot of weed to be trying to do at the same time. You feel me? Like, not do, but like trying to like smuggle. Like, I'm not saying an ounce is a lot of weed. I'm saying an ounce is a lot of weed you're trying to smuggle at one time to a person. When you got to sign the list. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. But they have her picture, obviously. And that's that on that. So I don't know if she's gonna get in trouble. I think maybe her foot chase, she thinks she ran away and that was good enough. So, all right, guys, let's move on. You're in my shadow. So, guys, as I was saying, how I'm getting used to back to recording. So are the people around me as Josh runs across the back of my fucking background. Okay, guys, let's move on. Did you know? Oh, wait. No. Wait a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, so remember how I told you guys earlier that I recorded this already, but I fucked up the audio, so now I'm literally recording this back to back right now. There was a question that I had asked, like I was gonna get an immediate response from you guys, so I need to look it up by myself. And I was fucking right. You know I was right because I'm a fucking not a genius. I'm just really hella smart. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm saying. Although, like, is it like? Should I be like hella praising myself for like remembering that vitamin D comes from the sun, or like is that just like a general thing that like Bye, Josh. That people should see. Okay. Or should just know. Anyway, so doctors are warning people about overdosing on vitamin D. Apparently, there are a lot of like natural like herbalists and like nutritionalists and like, you know, rogue niggas on the internet just telling you what the fuck to do and shit like that. Like, it's a whole bunch of people like trying to tell you like regimens that like they're not really like FDA, like, you know what I'm saying, like MD approved, like they don't have the credentials is what I'm saying, I feel like, to tell you what to be doing with your body like this, right? So this one man, they don't give me his age, they just say he's middle-aged. So I don't really, what is middle-aged? Because it bet not be me. I feel like middle-aged has to be like 40. Is that middle-aged? I don't know, but it bet not be me, nigga. Okay, so he has contracted something called hypervitaminosis D. Did they make this up? That sounds made up as. That don't sound made up as fuck. They didn't just put hyper and osis at the end of like vitamin, like in between vitamin D. Like, it was the D at the end. I would have believed it if they were like hypervitaminosis. But then when you say hypervitaminosis D, like now I just feel like you're making this up and like you didn't really know what to call it because it's like the first time it's happened. I don't know. Anyway, apparently it's not because they have a name for it, quote unquote name. But basically you can overdose and that's how you contract this made up thing name that they're calling it. But anyway, so he hooked up with a like a rogue. Why am I saying rogue? Like a nutritional therapist, but like I'm calling her rogue. Or him, them. I'm calling them rogue because this don't sound like something that a person of their right mind should be taking. He had been taking super high doses of vitamin D. We're talking about, I think the daily requirement is 10 milligrams, and he was taking like 150,000 or something like that. He was also having high amounts of K2, C, B9, B2, just way too much shit. And none of these things are like bad for us, right? Like, these are things that we want to have in our bodies, but not at this like high of a rate, right? He had, I think, over 80 times or 90 times the daily amount. Every day he was taking like 80 to 90 like times the daily limit for like vitamin D and shit, like as well as all these other things. He was in the hospital for like 7 days or something, so he can get like rehydrated and all shit like that. Because you're saying hydrate, why did he need to be rehydrated, Christian? I'm gonna tell you. So basically, he was having this recurrent vomiting, nausea, leg cramps, ab pain, increased thirst, dry mouth, and then like ringing in the ear and diarrhea. And he actually lost 28 pounds in 3 months, which is kind of impressive. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of impressive. It's not like the fastest. That's a healthy like loss of weight. That's fucked up, but it's true. He's not dead, guys. It's fine. He took this regimen for 1 month and didn't feel good, but it didn't stop. Like the symptoms didn't go away. His kidney was about to fail. Because what happens, right? So like vitamin D, too much of it gives you elevated magnesium and then calcium levels. And when you have too much like calcium in your body, like it has to be like a limit to that, right? Because you get that shit from like other places too, right? But there has to be like a daily limit on it, because if you have way too much of that, then it can calcify your bones and shit like that, and like your shit will turn basically to powder, my nigga, and you don't want that. So like, don't be out here like listening to people on, like, if you're gonna look at something on TikTok, go double check it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask. Most of us know a doctor by now, right? Most of us. Just go ask them, like, like, I don't know, or Google, but like not WebMD, but like Google, but like reputable spots on the internet. And okay, anyway, so just be careful, guys, with all the fucking vitamins and shit. Like, not saying that you shouldn't take it, but like, don't take more than you're supposed to. Like, taking more vitamin D isn't gonna like taking too much isn't gonna like whatever effects you were getting from it. It's not gonna like elevate that. It's gonna just make it worse. So don't fucking do that. And let's move on to something else maybe that you shouldn't do. This is called vabbing. And I feel like over the last like 24, 48 hours, a lot of people have been hearing about it. I'm new to understanding what it's about. So vabbing is a word that combines vagina and dabbing, right? And when you put it together, say it with me, y'all. Vabbing. Basically, it's like you like dabbing your like taking a little, just put a little dip in, you know what I'm saying, into the vajayjay, and then you like hit all of your fucking pressure points, like your behind your ears and like your wrist, like the same places that you would put perfume. And people are doing this on the internet, and they're saying that they are doing that and then going to the clubs and going to the bars, and they are getting the niggas. I'm not telling you to do it, because it does seem kind of weird. Like, okay, guys, I'm on the fence about this. Am I on the fence of like absolutely positively never doing that shit myself? No, I will never fucking do that shit myself. But I have two things that I want to bring up that may defend what's happening, right? I don't know. Okay. So I'll start with the most simplistic, right? Niggas. Dudes with facial hair, right? They eat pussy. Then they say, and some will say, I really like the smell, like that, how it lingers, blah, blah, I don't want to wash this. Like, some niggas say that. Isn't like one kind of like facial hair called a flavor saver? Like, so I'm not disputing that dudes or whoever is attracted to vagina, that turns them on, that might turn them on, which kind of segues into my next point about it, is that it is producing some type of pheromone, right? So just like a perfume or like a love potion number 9 or whatever the fuck, like that has some kind of pheromone in it, just like that has a pheromone in it. So I can see the logic. Do I suggest? Because it's not like vagina stinks, right? Pussy doesn't generally stink unless there's something wrong with it, right? But like grade A, like, you know what I'm saying? Like good, like chef's kiss vagina, like it doesn't smell. Like it doesn't stink, I should say. It does, of course it smells, like they all smell like something, but it doesn't stink, right? So I just don't know some people don't have it like that, and like, I don't want you out here vabbing, like, because I don't want to be like walking down the street and I get like a whiff of vagina, like, because when you go like this with your hair, when you toss your hair behind your back and shit, I don't want that. And it's like, I don't hate the way that my vagina smells, but like, I don't think I want to catch a whiff of it every time I'm like putting my hands up in my face. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, that's all I'm saying. So do I see maybe the scientific part of it? Sure. Do I believe that these girls is out here pulling niggas. I don't know. I would have to see a fucking. I would have to see a fucking research, some kind of research to support this, which they don't have. But remember how I just said pheromones? Pheromones do and have been tested and proved to play a role in mating and matchmaking and all that shit, right? But it's not. I don't know. Guys. I don't know. But everybody's doing it. Take a look. See if you want to do it. I guess you can. I guess you can. I mean, it's not safe. But also we can't really prove that it works. So see if it works. I mean, there's probably somebody who's vabbed before and they just never said anything and we just didn't know that's what they was doing. Like, I wonder. That's interesting. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Speaking of vaginas, so with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, it's kind of left a lot of women's reproductive rights kind of in the fucking wind for a lot of states. I live in a state where I don't have to worry about that, but some people don't. You feel me? So the FDA is weighing in on the over-the-counter birth control pill, which could be amazing, right? Especially right now with everything that's happening. It's called O-pill, and it would just be just like your regular, very old school sheet of 30 pills. You feel me? With the placentas, not placentas, placebos. Holy cow! With the placebos and shit at the last week. So just like that, but you would just be able to like go pick it up. I'm assuming like probably about like the condoms or whatever like that. But that's very dope. Like that's very, very, very dope. But yeah, man. So I think it's cool. But the only question I have though, first of all, before I even get into my questions, they have been working on this for 6 years now. So this is even before we were like, there was sure whispers and talks about that they were trying to overturn this shit. But I just want to point out this is something like brand new because you can't ever really do anything brand new and just move it along so fast. But this has been happening they've been working on this for 6 years because one of the main concerns about having this as an over-the-counter medication is, you know how like when we go to the pharmacy and we go pick up our stuff and those little packets that like reiterate some of the stuff that our doctor told us but really dig deep and like get into like the side effects and the ingredients and such like that. I don't know that they would have the room for all of that stuff. Sure, the ingredients, sure, the like basic directions, but there's a lot of like things that you probably need to know about birth control, like especially because they're not, I don't know if they're going to, but at the present this is going to be hormonal, and I know that some people can't, some people can't fucking take birth control that has hormones in it. So like it's I don't know. So it's just interesting because like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think it's a really good idea. The only other issue I have, or not the issue, but the question I have is what happens in those states that are making and banning abortions? Like what happens in those places? Like will the market even be open for these people? You know what I'm saying? But they're still working on it because it's really important to like make sure that people are well informed about the things that they're taking. And it's not just a regular like aspirin, you know what I'm saying? Like it's birth control. So yeah, you have to be able to have the labeling and stuff in a language that like anybody should be able to understand and get, you know? This would also open up the idea that you don't have to necessarily be 18 to have this, you know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever the case. Or so, because like there's some things that would be like behind like the actual pharmacy, but this will literally be right there. So we're talking about like a sexually active 16-year-old could go up and grab it if they wanted to, which I don't listen. I'm gonna always say that that is a responsible ass 16-year-old. I'm not gonna fucking shame them for wanting to have sex or having sex, but at least you're being safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a 16-year-old that goes in and picks up birth control is smarter than a 16-year-old that just relied on the nigga that she's fucking to bring condoms. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm always going to be behind that. But I just wonder what happens in like places like Texas, right? Where they've banned it, but like, would this even see the light of day there? They're still working on it. Even if they come to an agreement about what the label is going to say now, we're probably still not looking at seeing this in the stores on the shelves until like mid 2023. So, but there's that, because I think that shit is important news, right? Here's some news that ain't really important, but this shit is crazy because like niggas is wilding. So I know you guys saw that video of that fry place, Bell Fries, I guess, on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. 3 girls were eating there, and I guess they wanted to have some more sauce, and niggas was like, "Oh, for sure, but it'll be $1.25." And they like basically like turned up. Like they went over there, they were fucking throwing shit. They tore down the little like COVID guard or whatever. 2 of the girls went on the other side. They were throwing glass and metal and shit at these girls. And then the other girl was up there like twerking. Like it was fucking bizarre. It was bizarro. And I'm like, why the fuck are y'all risking being arrested? Not even risking being arrested. You're absolutely gonna get arrested because somebody was recording you guys, because everybody records everything now. But like for $1.25, there's no way that all 3 of y'all are in a restaurant eating. It's not like it's a fast food place, like looks like it. But anyway, like it's not like a fancy restaurant or anything. But there's no way that 3 people went in there and didn't spend $20. And if you can spend $20, you can afford a dollar or $2. You feel me? Like that's just how I feel. I don't know what did this. This is like after 4 a.m. So like it's insane. And I know that fucking owner is like, God damn, like I've been open all night for all this time, and like now I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like now he doesn't even know if he wants to fucking go back. I guess they said that they have 6 employees and they don't want to come back because they're scared. They already have like some of them got hurt and shit like that. But not $1.25, like I just can't. I can't. It was just crazy. They broke computers and like all types of shit. So they got arrested for assaults and probably like property damage and shit like that. 25-year-old Chitara, 23-year-old Tatiana, and 27-year-old Pearl. Like, Pearl? Girl, what was you even doing there? Pearl sounded like she should have been knitting a sweater. And she was the oldest. Like, they all young, but like, it's just hilarious that she's the oldest one and her name is Pearl. That is insane. Pearl, go home. Okay, so I was mentioning Roe versus Wade earlier. Ooh, on the second recording of this, I'm getting through this a lot faster. Okay, but anyway. So I was talking about Roe versus Wade earlier, and I have another story that I think is really interesting, and I think it's going to really, I'm hoping, encourage niggas to fucking think about the whole. I feel like everybody is always so focused on like this part of a situation and not the whole part. You know what I'm saying? Or that part of the situation, but not the whole part of the situation. Case in point. So we all know that Texas is one of those states, right? That's like, yeehaw, super glad this happened. Texas woman got a $215 traffic ticket that she is absolutely positively gonna contest, and I don't fucking blame her. So this is in Plano. She's 34 weeks pregnant, and she was pulled over in the HOV lane, like the carpool lane. Does everybody call them HOV lanes? I feel like everybody calls them that, right? But anyway, in the carpool lane, she had no one else in the car. It was just her physical body. She gets pulled over, and he writes her a ticket. She goes, I'm not alone. I'm with my child, my little girl. She's 34 weeks pregnant, so she definitely knows what the fucking sex of the baby is, or how, whatever. And we're in the state. Here we go, because I got to get into it, right? So we're in the state that's deciding that upon conception, a life is a life and you can't take a life, right? Where in the book of You Got It All Fucked Up can you say that and in the same breath give a woman a ticket who is clearly with a child that, and I'm sure that she wanted it. Hold on, y'all, because I'm getting into it. With a child that I'm sure she wants, right? But in a state where even if she didn't fucking want that child, you guys would, like, if she had no other resources, she would be forced to keep that child. And so you would be telling me that if this was her forced kept baby, right, and she doesn't want this baby, but the way that you guys have made the decision that she doesn't get that choice, you're gonna give her a ticket? Because let's be real, if we're gonna get silly, let's get fucking silly, right? How can you give her a ticket when she clearly isn't the only person in the car? And she's 34 weeks pregnant. We're talking, y'all motherfuckers are saying at the time of conception. So I could just look like I'm not pregnant. I could be 2 days pregnant. Well, not 2 days, because that's not. Okay. So I mean, if I'm 2 days pregnant, I'm one of those girls that can just know, right? Anyway, so I'm 3 weeks pregnant. And your state tells me, oh, well, even if you don't want it, it's yours. It's a life. It's hella a whole baby now at 3 weeks old. It's an entire baby. Stupid. Okay. Whatever. Somebody who's 3 weeks pregnant should be able to go in the HOV lane. Somebody that's 10 weeks pregnant should be able to go in the HOV lane. Somebody that's 20 weeks pregnant should be able to go in the HOV lane according to you, right? According to you. Because a life is a life and you can't take a life, right? I'm just saying, man. Just think about that. Ponder on that, if you will. How that makes sense. Because now you've made this decision, and now there's a whole bunch of other little laws and little things and little nuances in your fucking laws and constitutions now, your state constitutions and stuff now, and your fucking bylaws and shit, that some of this shit isn't gonna continue to make sense because you're taking away these rights, right? So if life is a life and you can't take a life, and this woman is 34 weeks pregnant, whether she wanted it or not doesn't matter, because this is what that's how it is. 34 weeks pregnant, and you give her a ticket because she don't have a passenger in the car. I'm sorry, and I know we could be literal, and we can say, well, the little girl's attached to you or whatever the fuck. We could be literal, and we could say that. But then wouldn't that make that other thing wrong? I don't know. I don't know anything. So anyway, let's lighten the mood. I just want to take a moment to be disappointed, okay? In all of the people that caught Dame Lillard on his fake phone call. Listen, as an avid fake phone call taker, I really don't appreciate the slander. Here's the thing. We don't know what was happening. We don't know if somebody was trying to talk to him next to him, if somebody was yelling his name from behind and he just didn't want to be bothered. We don't know what happened. And so, because we don't know what happened, maybe he was in danger. He wasn't in danger. But, guys, we've all done that. And, like, if we're going to let these 4K cameras take away the innocence of a fake phone call, then, like, what really, forget Roe versus Wade, what is happening to America? I couldn't even say that with a straight fucking face. Oh, God. Okay. I mean, because, guys, as a woman, and I don't know, this might happen to dudes, but, like, when you're a girl and you're walking down the street, right, and let's say there's a dude, like, 4 feet, I don't know measurements, but, like, kind of far, but, like, close enough where you can see his face. I don't know measurements, sorry. Okay, so, and you're walking towards him and you can already see that look in his face that he's about to fucking bother you. I am good for picking up my phone and be like, hello? Like, or just like, hello? Like, I will do that. When niggas be outside of the grocery store begging and I miss them going in, I will make sure that I'm on a fake phone call on my way out. Like, I literally live by fake phone calls. Like, come on, you guys. Are we really just gonna let these 4K cameras just make us act brand new? Is that what's happening? Okay. Oh, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for coming back and waiting on me. This has been so great. Guys, it's time for the one-up for the week. The fun thing is I don't really got one, but I was listening to some classics, and I'm going to leave you guys with this. I think this will help you get through your week and just through life, right? Fuck bitches. Get money. Fuck niggas. Get money. Oh, guys, I missed this. Thank you guys again. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to all the new listeners that I've noticed have been popping up in my absence. So I see you. I hope that this is a good introduction to fresh introduction to the show. I'm super accessible. Follow me on all social medias. I'd love to chat with y'all. And just thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, guys, this is episode 146, and I'll see you next time. Can't believe I had to fucking record this fucking twice, but it was worth it. Okay, bye.